once again, it's Bill. And I started a revolution in this house about 2 weeks ago. I made some frozen yogurt, which was like divine, huge success. And I really wanted it for the smoothies that I make. So after making 2 batches and going, this is getting crazy, like out of control, how do I make more and how do I make it easier? Really simple. So first of all, you really want to start with some really like whole milk, just plain Greek yogurt. What do I read? This one is 12% fat. Most are like 10, 9. So yeah, this is the real McCoy, okay? And the first video I did, I used like half this. I'm gonna use the whole thing because it goes really quickly, okay? I mean, I make it all the time. So the other thing is, when you're making this much, food processors have their limitation. I love my Cuisinart, but we're kind of limited. So I figured out that if I'm just using it to make smoothies with, mixer does a great job if you got a big mixer. If you don't, you could do half batches and whatever means you can. Half batches you could even make in the blender. So remember, this is just to make kind of the base for your smoothies. This is not, you know, this is not going to be the greatest frozen yogurt because I'm not going to get the consistency. So I'm thinking about it, I'm saying as long as I'm not going to make it the consistency of your absolute great frozen yogurt, but when you think about it, when you put it in the blender and make the smoothie with it, it'll smooth it out. It'll get you that consistency. So I'm going to start with, man, this thing weighs a ton. Yes, 32 ounces, man. And I'm going to take it out of here just because it makes it easier. And I just want to, if you don't believe me, and this stuff is thicker than ricotta. I mean, this is what you want. And I don't know if you worked with yogurt a whole lot, but you can see that this is like the bomb. This is going to get you, when I make the smoothies, I make 2 at a time, obviously, because I'm not selfish. And this is going to get you like 8 total smoothies, so maybe 10, depending on how you do it. And it is funny, I was messing with this last weekend, and I'm like, and I will tell you that I was prepping because I had to have surgery, so this is my first video back on my feet, and smoothies are a really great thing to have when you feel like crap. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Let's get it all in there. All right. I think that's as good as it gets. So, Greek yogurt by itself. I mean, I love yogurt. I love the tart of it. And that's what makes it really great. But if you're not used to it, just plain is pretty tart. So what do I need to add to it? Well, let's figure out if we can get our with our beater on here. And this is the fun part. I got me a bunch of bananas. Just look for bad spots. I bust them in half. The grocery store loves me because you know we have all those the singles that people leave behind. I'll buy those because I'm really looking for the right ripeness. Doesn't have to be in a bunch for me. And I needed eight, definitely 8 bananas. This is my final answer on how to do this. I'll try and get some of that stringy stuff off too. This is boring, isn't it? But it went somewhere. And you know, the bottom end always has like that little piece of weird banana. I always pull that off. That's what hit the floor. And I'll show you. These are very nice ripe bananas. That little spot is not going to kill anything, trust me. We're almost there. And see, boop. And you want to make sure they're yellow, you don't want green ones. Once again, we just want to take that little end off. Okay, so let's start this. Once again, I'll silence the sound of my mixer. I just want to get these started into some kind of consistency. Really good. So, one of the things you want to keep in mind now we've got this started, I'm going to put the rest of the stuff in and let it finish up, is we want the yogurt to have consistency to it, especially when we freeze it. And if you use just regular yogurt, it would be like water. It would be all ice crystals. All right, so I'm going to make a little flavor in this just to make it kind of generic, but something that I want. So I want like almost a tablespoon of vanilla. And you can get pretty close to it if you want. I just don't want to kill it with vanilla. And I know last time I used lemon zest. Well, guess what? Today I didn't have any lemon zest. But we want some of that citrus, depending on how we go. So I really just want a splash of it. But I'm not going to splash it into there just in case I screw up. So we're going to do it here. Just literally, like I said, a splash. And it's going to really bring out some citrus. The other thing is, we talked about how do you make it sweeter? Because when you're making the smoothie, you want it a little sweeter. And I don't care, you know, how sweet you are, because I'm not a big sweet fan. You got to have something in here. So I've tried different combinations, and what I've come up with, contrary to popular belief, is honey by itself will be fine because we're making smoothies out of it. But you need like a 1/4 cup of honey, because honey is not going to be the same as corn syrup, sugar. All right, so I literally put, well, this was already open, but there was a little more than a 1/4 cup that I just put in. All right, so let's get it going. Okay, so remember, this is just a base for smoothies. I'm going to say it like 8 times today once. I'm saying, I tried to eat it. Sorry. So what you really want to do, I'm going to give this the once around. Get this out of here. And just going to show you some of my trick. This is a really big spatula. Probably didn't need to grab this one, but so be it. Work with what you got. So like those dreaded words I hear sometimes, oh, can you help me in the kitchen? And you go in the kitchen, like they don't have any utensils. I'm like, how do you do this? They're gonna start having like an emergency box that keep, ready. All right. All right. So all I want to do is get that around here. Make sure there's nothing on the bottom. And literally, this is perfect consistency. It's a little lumpy. Like I said, what's going to happen when you put it in the blender is you're going to get all that mixed up, and the consistency will be perfect. And this is a whole lot easier than, like I said, messing with your food processor. If you did half batches, you could do this in a blender too. Everything's really soft and easy. Really, really awesome good. So, I'm always licking my fingers. I always have all this food. I guess I like food. Anyway, so if you like smoothies, you want to have a whole bunch in the freezer. Let's say you got a kid that's going to have their tonsils out and they want something, and you don't want to keep, making the same old junk, or running to, get a McFlurry or something, whatever they call them. This is really great to have in the freezer, and you will like it. Oh, by the way, I haven't seen them. I kind of looked, but not real specifically. I remember, I think you can still buy those things. You can make the frozen pops, the little stick inside, the plastic sticks. This works great for that too, because it's got like chunks of banana, and it's got a whole different kind of texture, consistency. It's really cool, really great, and a whole lot healthier for you, especially when you make it this way. Give that a thought. Go through your cabinets and see where you've stuck that thing you haven't used in 10 years. And give it a try. Anyway, I'm going to see you next time with another great recipe. Have fun.